This is one of my most special videos that I'm making because this dress started it all. When I was a little girl, I saw a TV show called Pride and Prejudice, and it changed my brain chemistry forever. I saw these magnificent scenes, beautiful dresses, polite manners, and wonderful love story between Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy. I didn't realize it then that this TV show will change my life forever. That in 20 years, when I will have one of my hardest years of my life, it will help me become a happier person. I didn't know that I needed historical dressmaking. I didn't know that I needed this YouTube channel to be happier. I have joined a historical guild last year. At that moment, I knew that the first dress that I will be making is a Regency dress because of the fact how much I loved and still love Pride and Prejudice and everything that Jane Austen did. And I can't believe that after 250 years, she still changes lives. For this project, I have decided to make a mock-up first because it was a tight-fitting dress and I didn't want to mess it up. I am using a rotary cutter to cut all the pieces out, and I did struggle with the rotary cutter, unfortunately. I did need to push a lot. I don't know how people do it with the rotary cutters, but it didn't work for me. I did use it for a couple of projects, but after I've decided that scissors are the best way to go. For this one, unfortunately, I did use a rotary cutter. I also did cut the points where all the fabric will meet, making sure that I didn't snip anything off. I did pin my pattern pieces onto the fabric to make sure nothing was riding because I didn't really have any pattern weights. I did use whatever I had on my hand, and for this project I used this tiny little vase. I did find it a very good thing for me to do a mock-up for this project because I understood how everything went and how I needed to sew everything for the final project, so I didn't mess it up the first time. So if you have any time and also fabric to do some mock-ups, I recommend. The sleeves for this project were humongous. You can see the size of the sleeve. It is pretty much one sleeve for my one sewing space. Now it came time to assemble everything. There was a lot of gathering at the top and on the sleeve length. We're talking about the sleeves. The construction wasn't that hard. Even though it says an advanced, I was pretty much a beginner and I understood the instructions very well. And I say that this is the best project to do if you never did Regency before, and if you want to start with the Regency period, a bib front dress is the way to go. So I made a mock-up and this is how it looks. Obviously it is not finished. Well, actually no, I finished. So I've decided to only make one sleeve mock-up just to see how to actually attach the sleeves, because I thought, you know what, let's just try. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing the mock-up of the skirt because it's just a rectangle and it's not fitted. Courtesy of like other people that don't do mock-ups of skirts. It's a rectangle, so it's gonna fit. In regards to this, I think it's fitting. I need to also test it out with my stays. Here's the back. I think it looks good. And then the sleeve has a puff here, has a bit of gathering going on here, and lengthwise it actually does go to my knuckles, which is how it was historically. I like a long sleeve. I've decided it's gonna look cool. Also, like Elizabeth in Pemberley, she has a long sleeve, and I'm planning to go to Pemberley, hopefully in this dress. I've decided to go with flowers just because I like flowers more than stripes. The pattern fabric, let me show you. It's so pretty. This is a perfect fabric for this project. I'm in love. It also matches the fabric book that I have for the Regency era. In that era, like, you would have multiple different flowers, not only one type, repeating. I feel like it's a perfect one. It's looking good. So I wore my stays and everything that I'm going to be wearing under, and I think it's just fitting. After fitting the mock-up, I have finally went with a cutting of my main fabric. It took me a whole day to cut because there is a lot of work, there's a lot of notches to make, a lot of making sure that everything is mirrored, the pattern is not facing in correct directions because this is a flower pattern. So I had to make sure that everything was laying correctly. The fact that I had only like 7 meters or something, I wanted to make sure that I have enough. And again, because of the direction of the fabric, I had to cut only in one direction, and that's why it was a little bit harder to fit everything into one piece, but I feel like I managed it well. I really love these sleeves, they're just so big, and I really love this pattern. As I said, the rotary cutter was fine for this project, but after that I did use my normal scissors, and I realized that I had a lot of pain when I was using a rotary cutter just because I needed to push it so hard into the mat. Maybe I didn't have a good rotary cutter, maybe that was just my experience, but it just didn't work for me, and that's okay. I have also decided to line this project. I only was going to line the bodice pieces, and that's why I cut out the lining pieces too. I didn't want to line the sleeves because the fabric, the main pattern fabric, was already pretty thick, and also because I was gonna wear this in summer, I just didn't want to be a bit too hot. And actually that was a very good decision because lined or not lined sleeves, they were still very good. Here I decided to also mark the notches with the rotary cutter. I don't recommend marking your notches with a rotary cutter because sometimes it gets a bit too far into the fabric and then you have a very long cut out notch. I was still trying to figure out sewing patterns and what would work well to mark any of the notches that are in the middle of the work, because you don't want to cut your fabric in the middle. So I decided for this one I'm gonna mark all the notches like little dots on the main fabric with the pins instead of with a marker, because A, I didn't have a marker, B, I didn't want to mark it so that the marker will be visible. So the pins were fine, but they did prick me a lot. I don't recommend using pins. This lining fabric was very much a very wonderful fabric. I have lined with it a lot of things that I have. And now, after I cut all the fabric pieces, it is time to assemble. I first did my little check of the tension of my thread so that everything is sewn correctly and there is no loose threads going through, and now we are slowly assembling it as per the instructions. I am first assembling the bodice pieces. I am using the front pieces and then connecting the straps first. Then I have connected the back to the front pieces. The back is this a very cool shape that is very prevalent throughout the Regency era, which I really love how beautiful this is. And now that the front and back is connected, I have made sure that all the seams have been pressed, and you can see how crisp it looks. And now I am connecting the remaining part of the strap to the back of the bodice and sewing everything together. I think it looks just fantastic, even though this is just a lining. And after that, after finishing all the sewing, I will press it again with my iron. Here is the lining piece done. Now I am connecting the same way, working with the main fabric. I am sewing the front pieces. For the main fabric, the front pieces are a bit shorter, so I'm connecting the front pieces to the straps, sewing them together, making sure that everything is mirrored, and then connecting the back piece to the front pieces, sewing them together, and then pressing everything, and then sewing again the straps, and then pressing it again. And I really love how this main fabric already looks. The more I connect all the pieces together, the more it comes together, and the more it becomes the Regency dress that I was longing to have for so much time. After finishing the lining and the main fabric, I then will connect them together. So I will sew them all around. I didn't show it to you, but that's what I did. To make sure that everything is connected, I would then show you the final version. This is what I was doing for the past evening. It doesn't look much, but I made the bodice. It is lined with the off-white cotton lining, and then the outside, as you can see, is this beautiful pattern, the one that I've shown you. It's also cotton. It is very similar to what I have in the book of Fabrics of Society. I'm actually going to show you. Too exciting. This book. So I was browsing in this book. I'm not going to say it's very similar, but it's similar. It's this one, this dark one. And it's very similar to what I have, which is, you know, this. Actually, they have it in this darker color, but because I really like, you know, light colors, I've decided to go with this one. For this one, I'm planning to make longer sleeves. I am thinking today is the day when I'm gonna attempt just, you know, making the sleeves, and we'll see if I'm gonna be connecting the sleeves or not. And as you can see, this is for the bib front. You can see a bit of lining here. This is intentional. So this is how it's gonna be. So the bib front is gonna cover it, which means the front is gonna be the same main fabric. I even done underseam, so you can see here, it's gonna hold the lining. The lining's not gonna be showing from the outside because I've done the understitching. It looks gorgeous. I love it so much. I'm already planning on like making something else already because I feel that, oh, this project's gonna be fine because I haven't let's, you know, knock it on wood, haven't made any mistakes yet. I also got a tiny little, I just wanted to show you, I just got a tiny little flower, found it in the park. I'm thinking maybe I should like have fake flowers and put them in my hair. That would be cute because then I can have flowers any season. I think happy future me is gonna update you when I will fit the sleeves. I gotta do the sleeves before it gets dark. Okay, we can do this. It's just sleeves. It's fine. It's not a skirt. I haven't cut the skirt yet, by the way, so I pushed myself and I did sew the sleeves that day, and it wasn't that hard. It was just a lot of gathering at the top, gathering on the length of the sleeve because that's how the sleeves were at the time, trying to figure out that the gathers are the same for each sleeve. As you can see here, that's what I'm doing, and then the sleeves are pretty much done. This is me with the sleeve, trying the sleeve on. It is still not attached, but it is a perfect length. Before actually cutting the sleeves, I did make sure that the sleeves are going to get to my knuckles, a bit longer than my knuckles, because I also needed to make sure that I folded it and hemmed it nicely. But this is pretty much how they're gonna look. I am so excited. I was pretty much having a party with a Sabrina Carpenter songs because at that time it was a Sabrina Carpenter summer. So I was just going crazy with my beautiful sleeves and being so excited for them, and just also becoming Charlie's Angels a bit. If people know the reference, it's so exciting to see the dress coming together in all the small pieces. Now the part that I did dread a bit because I didn't understand in the instructions how it was done, but because I did a mock-up, I kind of knew it. Because it was the main fabric, it was a bit confusing to me, so I had to connect the main bodice to the sleeves, or the sleeves to the main bodice, and there was a lot of moving back and forth because I needed to make sure that the gathers at the top of the sleeve are also at the top of my bodice piece, and also that they're all in the same same area. Fitting of the Regency sleeves was very hard, and also I did not baste them. So there was a lot of issues when I was sewing the sleeves, and I wish I basted them. As I didn't baste my sleeves, I pinned them instead. This actually caused a lot of issues because the main fabric of the sleeves started to catch where it should have not been caught. I had to unpick a lot of areas of my sleeves. Do not do the same way as I did because you will save a lot more time if you just baste it. I'm then hemming the sleeves, I believe that's what it's called. I just folded 1 inch of a fabric backwards, and then I am slip stitching it so that it's not visible. Thread was a bit visible on the other side. Also, I did use a bit of a thicker thread. I used a linen thread. I would say for this one it would be better to use a similar colored thread, not white. The sleeves are in. I've struggled with the sleeves a bit. There was a bit of like catching of the actual sleeve when I was sewing in, but it is finally done. I did have to undo a couple of seams. I think it's looking gorgeous. I think it's gonna look awesome. This is the back. It's super long. It goes up to the knuckles right here as I wanted them. Definitely gonna be trying my best next time with the sleeves. I've done the best job you could make for your first time inserting the sleeves. Now I gotta start with the skirt. Oh, I don't know about the skirt. Behind the camera I also cut the skirt pieces and also pleated the skirt pieces with the knife pleats. I had to redo the knife pleats. It was my first time doing them, so I thought maybe I did them wrong, but I think it was right either way. I pleated the skirt, I then sewn all the pleats together so that they will stay. Then I also connected all the pieces of the skirt together, and then also made sure that there are some openings for the skirt because this is a bit front. It's going to be opening and closing from the front piece, so you would need some vents on the sides of your skirt so that you can actually get into the dress. Then after sewing all the skirt pieces together, I of course pressed everything nicely because a pressed garment is gonna look a lot nicer than a not pressed one. And this is the skirt, not yet attached to the bodice. Everything is connected, the front, the back, with the knife pleats. I am just so excited to look at this right now because at that moment I was just so happy to see myself with a pretty much ready skirt. Even though it wasn't connected to the bodice, it was just so beautiful. And I was so excited for the knife pleats at the back because this was my first time doing it. Usually I would do like gathers, but knife pleats are so much worth it. This is the bodice also done pretty much, and I just wanted to try out how everything looked before attaching the bodice and the skirt together. It kind of looks like a cool jacket separately, like a cool fashion piece. Very modern, especially with how I look in this moment. It does look a bit like a fashion statement piece if just worn separately. And now it was time to connect the bodice to the skirt. With the instructions, I struggled a bit because I didn't understand the pictures, but then I realized what the pictures were. I'm not gonna get into the whole detail, but it was just so funny because I just couldn't get it. Excuse me, who is she? I'm sorry, this is not done yet, but imagine. The back is attached. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. The excitement is just up somewhere there. I'm in love with this dress. Oh my god. So good. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I think even the length is fantastic. I still have a train. I still have a train. Like, oh my god, this dress. I mean, if it's not gonna fit, I'm gonna be very sad. I mean, it's already fitting, so it should. I'm thinking, I think my straps might be visible of my stays. I think I'm just gonna cover it with something. This is crazy. This is like the most beautiful thing I've made. I'm just like feeling so Elizabeth Bennet right now, which is like so good. I'm gonna cry. I'm too excited. Oh my god, as soon as the bib front is gonna be done, I'm literally gonna cry. That's it. Like, I'm gonna be crying because this was my biggest dream and I finally am doing it. My eyes are already tearing. Like, I'm finally there. I cannot believe this is happening, actually. It's a bit surreal. Oh my god. Oh my god, from the back, it's like I feel like I'm like living in that time. Oh my god. I cannot. If this makes me so happy, I gotta continue. We're definitely making more Regency dresses. This is like so cool. This is so cool. And this is my first time doing the pleats and oh my god, they turned out great. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. The dress of my dreams. The fact that it looks like as if it's what Elizabeth Bennet would have worn in 1995 adaptation is peak. Also kind of similar to what Elizabeth from 2005 wore. So peak dreams. Also a bit like Sense and Sensibility. I want to live in this dress. I want to constantly wear this dress. I don't understand why do I need to wear modern things. Okay, the only reason maybe is when I go like do sports. I will wear this all the time now. As soon as I make it, I will wear it all the time. This is my favorite dress for now. And then I will make another one. And then I will make another one. And then I will make another one. And then I will have a very cute little capsule wardrobe of like Regency stuff. It's literally my dream dress. When I say to you, this is my dream dress. The first time I watched Pride and Prejudice, 1995 version, is when I was like, oh my god, the beautiful dresses that they have, that they're wearing. And I never thought that you can make your own. Like, I thought that's it, it's not gonna be possible. There's like no way somebody's making patterns of these dresses. Yes way. Oh my god, this is so cool. I don't want to take it off. I feel it's not done yet, but I don't want to take it off. I just feel, especially the long sleeves, is just, oh my god. With the long sleeves, that's the Elizabeth Bennet aesthetic. Also a bit more Charlotte, because I'm becoming 27 soon. We're becoming Charlotte a bit, which is awesome, kinda. But I mean, I love her speech in the 2005 movie. Thank God we have sewing machines, because this dress, it would have been a lot harder to make what if I didn't have a sewing machine. So thank you for inventions of sewing machines. Thank you. Now that the skirt and bodice are connected, I am making sure that the insides are not having any loose threads, and I am then connecting little ties to the front of the bodice so that I can tie the fronts together, and then I can connect the bib front. The ties are pretty much a twill tape that I have found similar color to the lining. They were perfect. I don't have any more of this type of twill tape and I really want to buy more. This was a very good one. I am hand sewing it because my sewing machine is not a heavy duty sewing machine, so it can't really sew it. Now it is time to figure out the hem. I actually first asked my mom to, basically I wore the dress and then my mom pinned everything at the bottom, so she pinned the hem, made sure that everything is pretty much equal. I also wanted to have somewhat of like a train at the back, and now I am trying to, because there was just a lot of hem going on, and this was also my first time hemming a dress. Okay, the second time. I decided to cut it equally. Now I'm looking at this and I wouldn't recommend doing that, because if you want to eventually adjust your dress, you basically don't have any more of the fabric. I'm measuring the same amount of hem to have, and then I would cut whatever's left over. I think I measured like an inch. I would recommend to actually have whatever you have folded there amount of fabric. I would recommend to have it just for your eventual future, whether you decide to make a longer hem or a shorter hem. Just don't cut your hems, and also don't cut your seam allowances, because you might want to make your dress bigger or smaller depending on your adjustments. Now that I have cut everything equally, I have folded that 1 inch, then sewn everything with a machine. Historically, you would sew everything by hand, and that's what I do in my later dresses. It looks a lot nicer by hand. I really had a very short amount of time, so I needed to hem this dress super fast. The circumference of the skirt was so big that I've decided to go with sewing on the machine instead, and I just folded by hand. Now that I have finished the dress, I am ready to go to the Regency picnic. I have done my hair. I'm just so excited. This is me wearing all of the layers that I have created through my little mini series of making Regency dress. There are just a lot of pieces when it comes to Regency dress. You would make your chemise, the stays. I didn't make my own stays, but I was just very lucky that I already had historical stays. These are perfect for the purpose. Then I'm wearing my petticoat that I also made on this channel. Then I am making sure that my hair is correct before going and wearing my main dress. And here is me with my dress, with my Regency dress, with my fichu, with my hair done. And I was so happy to go to Regency picnic, and I wore this dress with multiple occasions. One of the occasions was I went to Pemberley in this dress, though my hair was very much non-historical because I wanted to go more Pride and Prejudice 2005 version than 1995 version, and I was just so excited to visit Pemberley in this dress. It was kind of a very weird moment for me. And then I also wore this dress to the Pride and Prejudice 2005 20th anniversary screening recently, and I also wore that dress and I was just so excited. Again, my hair was not historically accurate. Actually, I went with like a hairstyle of what Elizabeth Bennet had in Pride and Prejudice 2005 movie, and again, it was just like a little closing moment. The only thing that I need to do now is to wear this to Jane Austen's house. Actually, I'm probably gonna wear this dress to also her house, all the rosing sparks, and then I also need to go to 1995 version Pemberley, which is in Lime Park. I am excited to visit more of the Jane Austen places where things were filmed in this beautiful dress, and hopefully I will create more beautiful dresses in the future that are Regency and not only Regency. So I'm excited for my work. This video is something very special to me because it started the whole journey of me doing YouTube and just being more comfortable in wearing historical garments and believing in myself that I can finish a project, I can love something that I make. It just always pushes me forward to make more beautiful things. Even though this is the most simplest garment that I have made, it's still one of the most special ones. I just want to continue doing this. I think the fact that I'm still doing this after a year, and it's been a hard year, I'm still going through a lot of things because this is life and that's normal. I made something very special. It is connected to my whole journey of my life because I saw it in, I believe, 2005. It made me more confident. It made me more comfortable in what I wear, in how I feel in my clothes, in how I interact with other people, in how I share things. 10 years ago, I was scared to show my face on a camera because I was so encapsulated in the whole idea that what other people are gonna think about me. Now I've realized that it's not about what other people are gonna think about me. It's about how I feel about this. And I feel great about this. I love this dress, even though it is one of the most simplest things I could have made. But it holds a special place in my heart, and I'm not gonna forget about it. I'm just very excited for the future of this channel and for the future of my makes, because this motor has started and I don't think it will ever end. I am truly motivated every single day to create something new and to just feel this special connection between that first project and my future projects. I am just so happy that I have finally decided and I got this motivation to create something beautiful and something that makes me so excited. And I hope you can join me in my future endeavors, even though I'm a bit of a crier. I get super emotional about these things, but I hope you stay with me for a little longer and we'll see what's gonna happen next. And watch this space, because there will be a lot more things coming through. I'll see you in my next video, everyone. Thank you so much for your support. It has been one of the greatest pleasures to create for you, and I really, truly am happy that this happened to me. I hope you have a wonderful time whatever you're in the world, and it did make me cry a bit. I cannot still believe that I'm still here and I'm still creating and I'm making beautiful things and I'm making people happy. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you can support me in my future endeavors too. And I'll see you in my next one, that's for sure. Bye, everyone.